Stereochemistry of E2 elimination. This we are going to discuss in this video. For this video, we have selected base-induced dehydrohalogenation reaction. This elimination reaction we are going to discuss, and we are going to discuss the stereochemistry of its product. So what is base-induced? Base is actually used to remove hydrogen and halogen from the substrate in this elimination reaction. So for this purpose, we have selected one example where two chiral carbons present. I have shown that chiral carbons by using asterisk. That means this compound is optically active. And I am using base here, potassium hydroxide in ethyl alcohol. So this hydroxyl group, this is a base. So this base is actually removing this hydrogen and halogen, and there is a formation of pi bond between these two carbons. See, this carbon number 1 and carbon number 2, this is called elimination reaction. So this is base induced dehydro. D means removal of hydrogen and halogen, means dehydrohalogenation reaction. Now see, this alkene is produced. This pi bond is formed during this reaction. So we are interested in the stereochemistry of this product, in the stereochemistry of this product, in the stereochemistry of this alkene, whether this is cis or whether this is trans, that we are going to decide at the end of this video. Now see, before we start its stereochemistry, I'll brush up little this E2 or elimination by molecular reaction. So this is called beta elimination. The hydrogen and carbon bearing living group, this halogen, this is called alpha and this is beta. So two atoms are removed from the alpha and beta carbon. So because of this, this is called beta elimination. During this elimination, you can see one more chain. This carbon is sp3 hybridized, and once that pi bond is produced, this is sp2 hybridized. This is sp2 hybridized. So sp3 hybridized carbon is converted to the sp2 hybridized carbon. Now you can see here, to produce pi bond, we need p orbital, and this p orbital must lie in one plane, must be parallel. Then and then only sidewise overlapping possible to get this pi bond. So we have to remember that much also. Okay, now see what happened during this elimination bimolecular. So base is actually removing proton from the beta carbon. So in our substrate, we must have at least one beta hydrogen. This is condition. Again, when this base is removing this proton by using this lone pair, this bond of the proton is now moving in between this beta and alpha carbon to produce this pi bond. And at the same time, simultaneously, this leaving group here in this case is halogen. This leaving group is removed. You know, there are three lone pairs on the leaving group in this substrate. You must remember that. Okay, then we get this alkene. So this is a general form of the E2 elimination reaction taking place in one step, and simultaneously proton is removed, leaving group is removed, and the pi bond is produced in between alpha and beta carbon. So this is all about elimination reaction. Now moving toward the stereochemistry. To understand the stereochemistry of this reaction, we must know something about its conformation. Conformations are produced, different three-dimensional arrangement in a space produced because of carbon-carbon rotation of this bond. So this bond, there is continuous rotation in 360 degree between these two carbons, and because of that, this molecule can take different orientation in the space. So I have selected two orientation because I am interested only in H and Br. We have to remove them from this molecule. So we have selected two orientations for this molecule, two conformations for this molecule during the 360 degree rotation. So here in first conformation, you can see hydrogen and Br are toward opposite side of the molecule. they are anti, they are trans to each other. So this is called anti-periplanar conformation or anti-periplanar arrangement. And one more arrangement I have selected here. In this case, you can see Br and H are toward the same side, or cis, you can see here. This is called syn periplanar arrangement. So I have selected two arrangement, anti-periplanar and syn periplanar. Now see which is more stable. You can see obviously here in this case all bonds are not coinciding. This bond is lying between these two bonds. That means there is a dihedral angle, certain dihedral angle. And because of this, there is less repulsion, and this conformation is called staggered conformation. And you know, staggered conformation is more stable. So this anti-periplanar arrangement is more stable. But here in syn periplanar arrangement, you can see all bonds are coinciding. This bond is parallel to this bond is parallel to this. That means there is a repulsion. So there the dihedral angle is 0, and because of this there is a repulsion between this this bond electrons. So this periplanar arrangement is less stable. This is called eclipse. So you know very well, eclipse arrangement is less stable than the staggered conformation. So this anti-periplanar conformation is a staggered conformation, and staggered conformation is more stable. More stable means this molecule will try to remain in this anti-periplanar arrangement for more time. So this is, if this is preferred for the elimination, then this is called anti-elimination or trans-elimination, because hydrogen and Br are toward the opposite side of the molecule. Now one more thing I want to add here. Our base is also having a lone pair of electrons, and if leaving group and base are coming close, then there is a possibility of repulsion between the lone pair electrons of this leaving group and the base. But here, if the molecule is in anti-periplanar arrangement, the base is coming from the opposite side of this leaving group, and you can say the base is far away from the leaving group, and there is less repulsion between the lone pair of leaving group and the base. So this is more comfortable arrangement for the elimination reaction. So you must remember that the anti-periplanar arrangement is preferred for the elimination reaction by the base in dehydrohalogenation reaction over the syn periplanar arrangement. Now we'll discuss actual dehydrohalogenation of the given example. So we preferred one compound, that was 1-bromo 1,2-diphenyl propane. So this is our starting compound. So this compound, as I mentioned earlier, is having two chiral carbons, these two chiral carbons. Now we can write this compound into two forms, into two stereochemical forms. One is erythro form and another is trio. So this is erythro 1-bromo 1,2-diphenyl propane. So erythro means what? Similar groups toward the same side. So you can see as phenyl groups are toward the same side. So this is erythro form. And in trio form, similar groups are or atoms toward the opposite side. So this is trio 1-bromo 1,2-diphenyl propane. So this compound I have selected, and I have represented this molecule in Fischer projection formula. If you don't know how to convert Fischer, into Sawhorse, then please watch my video which is on general stereochemistry. So before you watch this video, you must watch that video which is on general stereochemistry. Then and then only you can understand this reaction property or this stereochemistry property. Now see, I have represented this molecule in Fischer projection formula, and all of you know Fischer means all bonds are coincide. So Fischer means eclipse form. So this can be converted into Sawhorse. To draw or to convert this into Sawhorse, you have to draw just 3 bonds here, 3 bonds here, and one line which is actually making 45 ka angle to this vertical line. Now see, as I mentioned earlier, this bond, these terminal bonds are actually lying below the plane. So because of this CH3 will go down, and this terminal bond is also going down because it is lying below the plane. These two bonds are actually above the plane. So C6H5 toward the right hand side. So I have represented this here, and H, they are actually moving or projecting above the plane. So this middle line is actually on the plane. This bond is lying behind the plane or below the plane. This is also below the plane, and remaining the atoms or group of atoms which are on horizontal line actually projecting above the plane. And you can see all bonds are coinciding. So this is eclipse. So Fischer is always eclipse. Now there is, as I mentioned earlier, there is continuous rotation between this carbon and this carbon through 360 degree. So, and we know for elimination reaction our base prefers anti-periplanar arrangement. So we have to bring anti-periplanar arrangement where hydrogen on beta carbon will move away from the leaving group. So Br is here. So we need hydrogen here. So we have to rotate this carbon. That rotation is continuously going on. We have to consider here that kind of rotation. So the H will come here. So if I rotate this carbon, I fix this carbon here, and if I rotate this carbon in certain angle, so the H will come here. H is coming here in this direction. So now you can see H and Br are far away. So this is anti-periplanar condition, anti-periplanar arrangement, where all bonds, you can see all bonds are not coinciding. Not a single bond is coinciding with other bond. They are actually having certain dihedral angle. Their dihedral angle is not zero, certain dihedral angle. So because of this staggered conformation, so eclipse is converted to staggered, and while doing so, we have got here anti-periplanar arrangement, which is preferred by the base for the elimination. Now base is doing its work. OH is removing this hydrogen from beta carbon. The bond which is joining this carbon and hydrogen is now moving in between this alpha and beta carbon to form this pi bond. So H is removed, Br is removed. I keep all other bonds at their positions. I'm not interested to change their position because that will be quite disturbing. So I kept this bond in this position just like this, and I put extra pi bond, extra bond, that is pi bond, in between this alpha and beta carbon. Now nothing is happening. All other groups are at their original position. So C6H5 here, CH3 here, EH here, and C6H5. Only you have to remove hydrogen and Br and put there a double bond. H2 is formed after removing this proton, and Br will go and join with the K, which is available in the reaction medium. So you can see similar groups are toward the same side of the double bond. So this is cis isomer. So actually erythroform gives cis isomer. Now what will happen with 3O? So this is another stereochemical form for the this compound 1-bromo 1,2-diphenyl propane. Here two similar groups are toward the opposite side. So because of this we can say this is 3O. So this is again eclipse. I have converted this into Sauer's projection formula by just drawing three lines and putting here one line in between this triangular part, this and this portion. These terminal bonds are actually lying behind the plane or below the plane. That's why I joined there Br and CH3, and this horizontal line having two groups, they are actually projecting above the plane. This middle portion is actually lying on the plane, so that I have represented. So this is again eclipse form, because Fischer projection formula shows only eclipse form. We cannot show staggered conformation in Fischer. Now there is continuous rotation between this carbon, and we need anti-periplanar arrangement. To bring anti-periplanar arrangement, I'll keep this carbon as it is because Br is here at down position. I need H at the top position, so I need to rotate this carbon in this direction through certain angle. So H will go there, and I'm moving clockwise. So C6 will go in this direction. So C6 coming here and CH3 going here. So that's because of this CH3 is here. Now OH is doing its work. Dehydrohalogenation is now taking place beyond this, and OH is removing this proton. I put this pi bond here in between alpha and beta, and I'll remove this Br simultaneously. So I got here double bond, pi bond, and remaining other groups as it is, they are not going to change their position. You can see CH5 here, CH3 here, CH5 here, and H. Now in this case, similar groups are toward opposite side of the pi bond. So this is trans isomer. So you can say trio gives trans and erythro gives cis. So you can observe here the stereochemistry of the starting material or reactant decides the stereochemistry of the product. And we have seen in previous videos, this is stereospecific reaction. So this reaction is a stereospecific reaction because the stereochemistry of the product is depend upon the stereochemistry of the starting material. If it is erythro, definitely you are getting cis isomer. If it is trio, definitely you are getting trans isomer. Because of this, elimination reaction or base induced dehydrohallucination reaction, E2 elimination, is stereospecific reaction. Don't forget that word. Thank you so much.